Welcome into a new season of Hawks Nest. I'm Clay Harrell today, and we're joined by Roman Holloway and Owen Carando. And in the first episode, we're going to look at the impact of COVID on college sports, specifically here at Southeast. And we're also going to give you our way too early national championship prediction. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Roman. Being that you're a first-year student, obviously we've kind of talked a bit, and you were kind of looking forward to seeing some of these athletics here being played. So what are your thoughts on not having any sports to go look at in the fall?
It's definitely unfortunate as a first year student, like you were saying here at Southeast. It's unfortunate. I was missing. I really wanted to participate in the tailgates and then go to the games, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. But I'm hopeful that it will happen in the spring and we'll get a full list of sports.
Owen, you're a sophomore here now. You've kind of experienced it a little bit, maybe not to the full effect just yet, but what are your thoughts on nothing happening here in the fall?
At least with not a lot to do. I mean, sports are a big part of SEMO here, and there was a lot of success last year, so it's big. But I mean, it's going to make for an interesting spring, I feel like.
Well, you mentioned the spring. They're looking to hopefully start the FCS football playoffs in April, which, being that they want to play a conference-only season, that would have to probably start in around February. You guys see that being possible, starting in February and ending in April?
I think it's definitely doable. You see all these college programs starting to kickstart their seasons, and I think it'll definitely be a possibility. And I think it will happen.
I can also see it happening. I mean, it might be a short time to get some games in, but when you look at it, like you said, there's a lot of teams starting their season up here in October, September, and they're just going with it.
Well, even one thing is Austin Peay and Eastern Kentucky, both Ohio Valley Conference teams, they had all OVC teams had the option to play in the fall. So if you're a team like Austin Peay, they finished tied for first with Southeast in football atop the OVC. They probably have hopes of making the playoffs. Do you see some issues maybe with fatigue building up going into an actual competitive season?
I could see that as a possibility. I think they'll be all right. I think they'll do okay.
For me, it's just being prepared for the games and game readiness and how quickly that each of these teams in OVC can get ready to play games and just get in that mindset of, hey, we're playing, let's go.
So I think maybe you don't see an effect early on when it comes around to like the spring, but maybe you see the effect rolling into fall 2021 for next season. I mean, maybe it's something where your guys that aren't necessarily graduating or whatever leaving, but you see come August, September kickoff next year, you maybe see fatigue and you see a team take a step back after having a lot of success maybe the year prior.
Yeah, it's hard to when you stop a season, in a few months to just restart that same process. And if towards the end of the season and the football season especially, you get beat up. That's just how it happens. So to have like a 2 months off and then to restart the fall season, that's pretty hard to do. I could definitely see some injuries.
Well, you also look, the Big Ten had originally postponed for this season for the fall. Now they're hoping to start October 24th. Several governors of states out west in the Pac-12 are kind of saying that they're giving the okay to play, and the Pac-12 now is hoping to get back into it. Some of the coaches in the Pac-12 have been concerned about maybe injuries piling up because some schools have been able to kind of have a training camp, so to speak, and some haven't. Do you guys agree with that concern in a way, or do you think that you just kind of roll with the punches, kind of like it's kind of been going here recently?
I can see where he's coming from. I definitely agree with that. But I think in life you kind of have to roll with the punches. So it's unfortunate they won't have they'll have that kind of risk, but it's kind of life. Life goes. You got to roll with the punches.
I mean, he said it perfectly there. You just got to roll with the punches and go with it.
Do you guys think that we see a national champion crown this year on the FBS level?
Yes, I do. I think they'll get it done. They'll have a plan in place. It'll be safe, and I do think so. And I think I think it'll be done.
You give me your winner.
I'm gonna go Clemson. I think they lost to LSU. I think Trevor Lawrence will have a big bounce back year, and I think he'll take it.
I'm going to go with no, personally.
Give me one reason why.
I feel like when it comes down to player safety and injuries and then the whole COVID thing and keeping not only the players safe but other students safe within the school systems and these big schools, that we will not see crowned.
I'm going to go on record right now, September 18th, as saying yes, that we see a national champion crowned, and it's going to be Penn State over Alabama in the national title game. And you guys can laugh at me all you want. I'm like the master of coming up with hot takes, and that's one of them. Penn State wins the Natty this year, and I don't know what it is. I couldn't probably tell you 5 guys on the roster, but they just got that team chemistry, and they're going to come home with the Natty this year over Alabama. They got the heart of a lion. See what I did there?
Yeah,
did.
that's a good one.
good.
That's good. They
The
got the heart of
Nittany
Saquon
Lions.
Barkley.
Yeah, they had Saquon Barkley. Like you can't lose if you had him on your team at one point. But to kind of bring it back full circle here, you said no, Owen. Do you have a team that if they do get it done, that has a chance to win the national title?
I have to say Alabama, and it's going to be a shootout, baby.
Do they play Penn State?
We'll see.
There's no we'll see about it. Penn State's going to be in the Natty. I don't see how they couldn't be. I mean, the Big Ten, if they get going, that's going to be a competitive conference as ever, as it always is.
Right.
I do see them getting steamrolled by Ohio State.
Ohio State's going to be really good. I think there's been a lot of push out of Ohio State. Ryan Day's been wanting to get this season going. They've had their full support from the school there. So if you get some of those bigger schools that are really wanting to play, and you obviously seen it worked, October 24th, they're getting going. You guys have a Big Ten champion.
I think it could definitely be a possibility. I think Ohio State's going to come out there.
I'm going to have to stick with Ohio State as well when it comes to Big Ten.
Well, in a completely hypothetical world, if I don't pick Penn State, that means they probably don't win the national championship. So I'm going to go Penn State. And you know what even crazier thing? The Fighting Illini are going to be up there vying for the Big Ten title. You guys completely disagree, don't you?
100% disagree.
Well, there's a lot going on. We got you guys' national championship pick. We're going to reel it back here really quick. OVC, does SEMO continue their dominance atop the OVC this season?
I do think so. I think I brought some good luck over as a first year, so I think we're going to keep the ball rolling.
I would agree as well. They've been hitting the gym hard, lifting weights, just trying to stay in shape, doing whatever it takes to get ready for this upcoming football season.
I'm also going to agree. I'm really excited for not only football season, but basketball season, soccer, football, baseball, softball, volleyball, tennis. Like, we got a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot to look forward to if you're around this Southeast Missouri region, and you got some really good teams to root for. So thank you guys for joining us for episode 1 of Hawks Nest. Join us again next week, where we're going to take a look at more college sports as they continue to unfold, and we're also going to dive in to the professional sports.